Hello everyone, this is the latest LEGO Ideas set to be actually produced. It's called Tron Legacy, and it is based on a submission from the Brick Brothers at Brick Bros UK on YouTube. A couple really nice guys who I think just make really positive contributions to the LEGO community and LEGO media, or LEGO related fan media in general, which is why I've had them on my featured channels list for quite some time. Definitely check them out. Check out some of the original content that they make, not just because of this Tron Legacy set, but because, like I said, I think they do good stuff for the LEGO world in general. This is kind of a two-in-one set. The original fan submission from the Brick Bros was for one light cycle, at least the winning submission that made it through 10,000 votes and more and got through review and everything. Although they did also have an opposing light cycle set up as a separate LEGO Ideas project. So they kind of got two projects produced at once, which is just a big win for all of us fans, because we get this much nicer looking display. When you have two of them that look like they're actually fighting, they look like they're actually racing. It's just a really nice thing to see, just to set up as a desk model for for older fans who often, in many cases, will be coming to this from a nostalgic perspective, with nostalgia for the original Tron movie from 1982. But this also ends up being a boon, I think, for younger fans who want to actually use these LEGO toys as toys, because now you can pull these off and you can race against each other. This is just a fairly simple little base. Has a little bit of upward warping, but not too much. But it just looks nice. The grid, it looks nice. You can reconfigure it a little bit, but it's designed to have a minimal number of pieces and just to give you a nice scene. But then you get two light cycles and you can actually race with them. This just looks cool and feels cool. Each of these is less complex and less detailed than the original winning submission, but I personally think it was a good idea to go with two instead, with just fewer pieces each. Taking a closer look at Flynn's bike here, you may notice that the wheels are printed. Exclusive prints for this set, and I think they look really good actually. And they allow this to have rolling wheels. That's a nice trick. They can spin. That's a nice trick. But they don't spin all that well. I mean, it's okay. It's nice to see them actually move, but they're hard plastic, and they just kind of skim across the ground for the most part. You get really good stability with this, with the lower medium azure plate there in the center being also on the ground, so it's all at the same level. To really get those wheels to roll well, you need to push down a little bit or kind of lean it off to the side. It doesn't work that great, but it is nice to have them actually spinning at all. And they are identical on both sides, so you get a total of 4 of those on just one bike, 4 of the new exclusive printed piece. I think the color scheme here is pretty perfect. I love that medium azure. I think it just has a certain brightness to it that just can't be beat. It's one of the brighter blue colors that really just captures your attention from any kind of distance. So I think that was a nice choice there. And the overall shaping of this is pretty good. I like the shaping back here. They give you a little bit of the trail there, but not that much, just enough for a small bit of display effect. But it's stable. You can see how the figure goes in. You do need to kind of squeeze it in there. Fortunately, this is on the ground all the way through. So as you push down, nothing's really happening. Nothing's gonna break apart. Nothing's gonna bend or anything. So from a structural perspective, it's pretty good. The weakest parts of these builds are right here on these edges. These little flaps that are attached that can be kind of rotated around. You just need to get those lined up right once, and then kind of try to avoid them with your fingers if you're playing with it, or just squeeze them in a little bit farther, and that's all they'll do. They might fall off at some point, but it's not that bad. Minifigures aren't able to look forward, so there's not really anything that could have been done better there. The handlebars, are actually grabbable, which is good. I think that it's just a fine thing. It's not fantastic, it's not great, but it's good and much better when you actually get the pair. So here's Rinsler's cycle, which is designed exactly the same way. It's built exactly the same way. It just gives us 4 more exclusive printed dish pieces here, just with a different color. So here, the solid color on the bike is just a regular orange, and then the transparent orange color is the transparent neon reddish orange color, or orangish red color, which is even brighter still. It's much more bright than the trans light blue that's used on Flynn's cycle. So this really stands out and grabs attention even more and gives you just great contrast. I don't know if that's necessarily the right choice here. Maybe just a regular trans orange would have had just a more compatible level of shine, of chromatic impact on the eye, and something a little bit more compatible with the solid orange and a little bit closer to the trans light blue of the other bike. I'm sure both options were actually tried, and the LEGO designers made a conscious decision to go with this. These just look so cool though. I feel like this is a situation where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. This really does it. Having the pair of them together. If they had released just one with this level of detail, it would have been a bit of a disappointment to me compared to the original submission just as a display model. This may be a little bit more playable, a little bit easier to build, but just an individual one with this build wouldn't have been that great. But getting the two of them together is awesome. Not as cool as it would have been, in my opinion, if they had done like the original style light cycles, but I am very, very heavily biased because I saw the original Tron in 1982 in its original theatrical release, and it had quite a visual impact on my little child brain at the time, which has lasted with me through my entire life. So this to me is a Tron light cycle and what one should look like, but even with nostalgia goggles, I still really like these two here. Here's the Sam Flynn figure, and I think that's one nice looking figure. Really nice. Has print on the arms as well. He's got his face shield set up there. I think this worked out exceptionally well. I feel very fortunate to have been able to get something of this level of quality within an Ideas set, and I think it's just produced well. You can see a little bit of the subtle black on black print to give a little bit of the texture in the suit there. When the light hits it just right, you can see it even better. They just put black ink or paint on top of the black plastic parts, and that's also done on the legs just a little bit. The prints don't line up perfectly between the hips and the hip and the torso pieces, but it's nothing worse than what's normal. Look at that. Got the disc, which is a new printed piece here. It's the 2x2 tile with hole in the middle. It's absolutely perfect for this use. And they've got some more print on the back. I think that print, the back torso print, looks just as good as what they've done on the front. He has an alternate face, which is a probably even more useful expression for him. And they also included a hairpiece for him. So when he's helmet off, he can still look all right. He can still look like a complete figure. So bonus all around. Well done all around. I am happy with this. The Rinsler figure makes a great use of that vintage Iron Man helmet piece, that mold. That looks fantastic to me. I'd love to get a stack of those to create some sort of alien or synthetic, enemy kind of army of some sort. It's just really cool looking. And then, once again, well done torso here with some of that hexagonal texture print going through it with the black on black. You see it's just very subtle. Get the light to hit it and you can see a little bit better. It's really nice. It's a really nice effect. Once again, goes into the legs with that pattern. And this has a little bit of shine to the the light portions of it. This looks great. I really wish I could get a lot of these. I really do. I might have to do it at some point, try to bricklink them or something, but I like this. And then he gets 2 discs, once again, printed. So these are just, stacked up front to back. They look at least as good as the blue ones, and it's an existing piece that we've had for a while. Just a good use of it to attach those. And unfortunately, Rinsler does not get an alternate face, so he has just one, but take a look at that torso print, which is, again, pretty good. I'd say maybe not as good as what's on the front in this case, just personal opinion. Very subjective for sure, but it's nice to be able to see that. I think that'll be good for some folks to pose this without the discs on the back. Certainly in a ground combat sort of situation, it'll be nice to be able to appreciate that torso print. And there's just his regular face. This one is not produced all that well, with just the kind of roughness around the mouth. I think it could have been a little bit more smooth, but that may change from batch to batch. Finally, here's Quora with another well done set of prints, in my opinion, with the torso looking really nice and crisp. And that one actually flows pretty well into the hip and down to the legs that are just done well for her unique outfit in the Tron Legacy movie. You get printing on the arms, and that's not symmetrical. So you've got one set up here, one set up here, and the skin tone is printed pretty well on those arms from any kind of distance. I mean, up this close you can see that it's not perfect, but from any kind of reasonable distance it looks close enough to a standard skin tone. It's not exact, but it's close enough. Pretty decent opacity and thickness of the skin tone there for the shoulders, so that works out pretty well. This face is okay for her. I think that the eyelashes and a little bit of eyeshadow that's suggested there is pretty nice. Eyes look big here, which is good, but I don't think it looks that much like a Legoification of Olivia Wilde here, to be honest with you. Just my personal opinion. You get another one of those discs, of course, for her, and she does have an alternate face. I think the choice of the hairpiece is perfect. This face, the hair around this way so you can see what that face looks like. That's a little bit better. That works for me a little bit better. And there's the back print for the torso, which is again good, and again has more of that hexagonal repeating texture with the subtle black on black print. I really like that effect. I'll probably never stop liking that effect, and never stop commenting about how I like it, but it just is what it is. Another well done figure. I especially like this face. This one just not so much. I think that's the weakest part of the whole thing, in my opinion. Overall, pretty nice set, and exciting package design too. I'm usually not into boxes and packages and such, but I don't want to throw this away because this is a really nice scene. It just looks good, looks interesting, makes me want to look at the actual models more, if I see this and I don't have them displayed together. Value for this thing, price to part ratio is not good. It's really not good. I appreciate the new prints that were introduced for this, for the figures, for the discs, and for the wheels. Oh man, we need to get that. We really need to get that, or just the classic version of it, the recognizer. But yeah, value. So price to part ratio not so good. Price to volume of stuff ratio is not great. Feels a little bit better than the price to part ratio does, but I feel like it's a little bit overpriced. I mean, whether you look at this number down here or not, yeah, just for how much stuff I see in front of me here, the box does not deceive you, in my opinion. So if you see this package in person at a store, this should help you to understand what you're actually going to get relative in size terms. But yeah, I do wish this was cheaper. It's a little bit of a shame that it wasn't priced a little bit cheaper than it is, because it's just not right. In my opinion, it's just not priced right. I like the set, want to mentally justify the price. I can't. It's just a little bit expensive to me personally. Regardless, if you like the set, keep in mind that if you buy it, a portion of the proceeds will go to supporting the Brick Bros. And even if you don't buy the set, be sure to support the Brick Bros by going to Brick Bros UK on YouTube. Like I said, just some nice dudes, and I think they do good stuff, good content, some original stuff, some interesting stuff. So check them out at the very least, and thank you for watching this video. Hope that it was informative and or entertaining for you, and I'll talk to you again soon.